Hello and welcome to New World. Now in today's video, I want to give you guys 4 tips that can help all of you. Doesn't matter what level you are, you don't have to be level 60. Even if you are 60, these will still help. And these are 4 tips that I've gathered myself from leveling from 1 to 60. I've been at 60 for about a week now. And I also have a bonus tip at the end of the video. If you want to know what that tip is, make sure you wait around till the end. But without further ado, let's get straight into the first tip. Now, the first tip that I would like to talk about has been covered by many other YouTube channels in tips videos and guides, but I still feel it's worth talking about, and that is the town board. Now, I feel the town board, regardless of your level, even if you're level 60, is still worth doing. Now, on the way to level 60, it is one of the best forms of experience. You can do a quest that is as simple as like this: acquire 15 lodestone bricks for 3k experience. That is a big chunk of experience for a very quick mission. But even when you're 60, these are still nice to do. But once you reach 60, I do feel like you shouldn't go out your way to do these unless you are grinding to get a certain reputation for a house, for example. But other than that, always try pick up ones that are just easy to do, passively. And you can see I have 3 accepted right now, and all of these I can just passively do as I do other content in the game. Now, the reason these are so good to do even at 60 is to get your territory standing up. Now, this is going to be so helpful later on when you come to do certain content in certain areas and you've got all these different bonuses like gathering speed, tax reduction, and all things like that. Even if you take in some zones, you might take extra faction tokens to help you grind out faction tokens if you want some. There's some really good bonuses you can get in these. And of course, one of the best bonuses is in fact owning a house in that zone. So when you're in a town, no matter what town it is, look at the town board and just pick up some easy missions that you can do when you're out and about in the world. And whenever you visit that town again, just turn them in, get some free territory standing, and you really can't complain. Now, the next tip I would like to talk about is one that I feel a lot of players have kind of just put to the side, and that is your skills. Whether that be your crafting skills, your gathering skills, or your refining skills. You should be working on leveling these up. Whether or not you want to go for max levels, you should at least be putting some effort into some of the skills. Gathering skills, it is very easy to level gathering skills just as you play throughout the game. Everything you see that you can gather, just pick it up. Even if you don't plan to use it, you can sell it for a bit of gold. There's no reason not to go around gathering stuff. And if you're really interested in getting some of the best gear in the game, you are going to need to start leveling your crafting skills. To get some of the best in slot weapons, jewelry, and armor, you're going to need to max out the skills that build that equipment. Now, it's not as easy to do that, and I don't expect you guys to just focus directly on your skills, but definitely put some time into some when you're not 100% sure what you want to do. Now, I personally love my skills. I'm currently working on 200 armoring and 200 engineering. I should have them within the next week, and I haven't actually been working on them that much. I've kind of just been doing other stuff, and when I want to go gather some stuff, I'll just, gather a load of wood, for example, for engineering, and I'll put a load of time into doing engineering. So it's definitely something I think you should work on. And even if you didn't want to craft anything, you really don't enjoy the skills, at least try get your smelting, woodworking, leatherworking, weaving, and stone cutting, so that is all the refining skills, to 200 at one point. This way you can craft a specific unique resource once a day, and if you was to do that, you could then sell that to people for a higher price, because people are going to pay to get more of the resources faster because they have to wait themselves, because it's a 1-day cooldown. So I definitely think it's worth leveling your skills in this game. If I was to give my honest opinion, it's worth leveling every skill to max, but not everyone is going to enjoy that. But definitely put a little bit of time into your skills, it will definitely pay off. Now, my third tip is as simple as get yourself a house. Now, you don't need to buy the most expensive house, you can buy the cheapest. But do keep in mind that your first purchase of a house in this game, no matter where it is, no matter what type of house it is 50% off. So if you have the money and the reputation, it's worth getting a 20k house because it will only cost you 10k. After that, every house is going to be at full price no matter what. But if you don't want to spend that money, you haven't got the time to play to get, to pay the rent. For example, in my current place, I have got some reductions to this, and it is at a 5% tax in Windswood. I'm paying 745 gold every 5 days, which isn't the easiest if you haven't got that much time to play. But if you've got time to play, maybe you can only afford to get the smallest house. You can pay 250 gold every 5 days. If you're able to get that, it's worth getting it. Now, the smaller houses are not going to offer you anywhere near as much storage space, but you're going to have access to a free recall every 4 hours, which you can also speed up for a tiny amount of Azoth, and it doesn't matter how much you weigh, it's still going to cost the same amount of Azoth. It's 45 Azoth, oh no, sorry, it's 50 Azoth to reset the cooldown from 4 hours in a small house all the way to 0, and it's exactly the same from a big house, a 20k house. It's a 2-hour cooldown instead of a 4-hour, but it's still 50 Azoth to reduce the cooldown from 2 hours to 0. So it's a percentage based thing. So if 50% of the cooldown has already been spent, then it's only going to cost you 25 Azoth. So keep that in mind. But you also are going to get access to trophy slots. It's the same in a small house as it is a big house, and trophies are extremely important in this game, especially the further you get in. You're going to need that luck for mining. You're going to need that luck for woodcutting. You're going to need that luck for getting some of the best gear in the game. There's so many different bonuses you can get from trophies, bonus damage to corrupted for invasions, all different things. They are all extremely valuable. So if you've got the money, buy yourself a house. You will not regret it. Now, my fourth tip is a bit of an odd one. It's not specifically related to gameplay, but this is going to help every single player in New World, no matter what. This is the database website for New World. There's so much information you are going to find on this website that will help you. Where you can pick up quests, where you can turn them in, stats of items. It's going to have a skill builder. I'll show you some of them actually. We've got a skill builder. You can go through every single weapon and you can build them without having to worry about it in game. You can get a link, send it to a friend. As simple as that. There are tables for how much experience you need per character level, experience you need per crafting level, territory standing. So it's different things you can find out, which is really nice. There's also recipe trackers, so you can see what recipes there are in the game and you can take them off as you go. You create an account and log in. But the most important part for me is searching for an item. So let's have an item, for example, that comes to mind that I'm actually helping a friend grind at the moment, and that is Ill-Gotten Gain. It's a legendary earring. Now, it's a very good piece, and you can find out exactly where it's dropped. And it will tell you Foreman Harold. If I was to click on Foreman Harold, it will tell me exactly where he is on the map. I can zoom out, and as you can see, if I was to click this cross, he is in Eden Grove. If I was to zoom in more, he is exactly here. It tells me where he is, and then you can just go there, farm him, and you'll be able to get the item. It'll tell you what level you need to be able to get the item to drop, and it'll tell you all the stats of the items. So if there's something you ever want to find out with inside New World, this is the place to come for it. It is really, really helpful. Now, that's my last main tip for this video, but I've got one bonus tip that I just want to quickly talk about. So let me tell you what it is. Now, I've left this as a bonus tip because it's not necessarily a tip. It's just something that might help some players that are having trouble deciding what weapons or what kind of armor to use. And that is, try things out. It's even better if you try them out whilst you're leveling, because you'll know what you want to use by 60. But even if you're still level 60 and you're not sure what to use, just try stuff out. There's no harm in doing it. You can always go get the gear you need, the weapon you need. There's absolutely no rush to do this. As you can see, I've leveled up a lot of different weapons, not necessarily all to high levels, but I finally decided what kind of weapons I want to use. And it did take me a while, and I'm still not fully sure how I want to go about using my weapons. So there's always room to test stuff out. So if you're not sure what you like and what you want to use, don't be afraid to try out, because eventually you'll know exactly what you like and you'll have absolutely no trouble from there. There's nothing worse than getting a really good gear set and be thinking, oh, do I really like this? I haven't tried something else. Try something else out, but you've got no gear for it. You might as well do it before you get an amazing gear set with a specific weapon setup, because that way you can grind for the weapons that you really like, and you can get that gear set and that weapon set specifically for that build that you're going for. But that's where I'm going to leave the video. I hope these tips helped you guys out. If you guys have got any other tips, leave them in the description, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you did like the video, don't forget to smash the like button. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.